Hello everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Time to take that walk and go see what's in the fridge today. Hey guys, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Boy, I bet this is going to be a treat. This is Brasserie Dieu Aphrodite, and it has an alias of Aphrodisiacu, or that's how it's pronounced to me, Aphrodiasiaque. It's probably aphrodisiac, and the UE is silent on the end of that, but I'm not a Canadian or from that area or French Canadian or anything like that. This is done in Montreal, Canada, and it's sent down here. And Parrish sent me this beer in the beer mail package. He is one of my favorite beer tubers, sending me all the beer that he does from California. I have seen some of Dieu Du Ciel beers here, but not the selection evidently that he has where he's at. And that goes for a lot of the beers. I mean, y'all guys know that I have a very difficult time getting my hands on some of the Stone beers, the Enjoy By beers. The beer distribution in Virginia sucks out loud. It sucks hind titties as far as I'm concerned, guys. It's horrible. The big beer distributors, the Bud, Miller, Coors distributors, control whose beers that they want to carry, and the shelf space in the grocery store. That's a bunch of horse hockey. It is. It really is. And they choose what beers they want to put out and shelf space that they get in the stores. So, and then unless you have a craft beer store where you get to choose that for yourself, you're limited to what they're going to bring in, what they're going to, and where they're going to put it. And some of that is based on sales, but if it's not out there, they're not going to sell it. So that's the bottom line there. So when you go into the grocery stores around here, the Bud, Miller, and Coors, it just takes up the whole damn aisle. I mean, it's just wall to wall stacked up. Bud Lime, Bud Light, Bud this, and Miller this, and Bud. I mean, I hate to mealy mouth those guys, but I do not support them guys. They've been controlling the beer industry in this country since Prohibition, and it's time for these guys, even from Canada, and the American craft beer brewers, and even the beers that come from overseas, across the pond in Germany and everywhere else. I mean, there are much better beers brewed all over, but those guys control everything. And as y'all know, Anheuser-Busch has well over 80 different breweries, and they're buying more and more up all the time. They're buying the craft beer industry up as fast as they can. I mean, Bourbon County Stout now produced by Anheuser-Busch. They bought the Goose Creek, Goose Creek beers and all that. So, I mean, they're going on and on and on and on. I mean, they're just, you know, if we can't beat them by selling them our beer, we'll buy up what they're drinking or what they're what they're buying and sell it through them. So I'm not a fan of that. I am not. I like to see the small guys do well and stay. I'm not going to say stay small, but stay local and not sell out to the big guys. I mean, but you know, money talks. That's how that works. You know. It's just the real world. That's the day and age we live in. You know, you start a brewery and you work it up, and you finally get somewhere, and then somebody like them come along and just shell out all these dollars and say, "Hey, we'll give you this for this," and you know, they say, "Okay." So, that's another story anyway. Get me started on that. We're talking about this beer, guys. I'm sorry. I apologize. I get rambling on about that. I'm not a big fan of those guys and them buying up all the little breweries and stuff and trying to get their hand in the craft beer industry when they can't sell the garbage that they're panning off anymore. So let's go into this one. The commercial description Black ale with aromas and flavors of vanilla, dark chocolate, bourbon, and roasted malt. The vanilla and cocoa marry nicely without competing each other to produce a surprisingly well-balanced beer. This beer is mildly hoppy, but the cocoa introduces a touch of bitterness. Its color may be intimidating, but it is a very smooth beer within reach of most beer drinkers. This highly appreciated dessert beer is brewed with organic fair trade cocoa and first-rate vanilla beans. Boy, that sounds awesome, don't it? And these guys and Unibrew, Dieu Du Ciel and Unibrew are two of my favorite breweries out of Canada. Now, we're not talking about Labatt's or Molson or any of that Canadian swill, and I hate if I'm stepping on anybody's toes and making anybody bad by saying that, but that's their macro lagers as far as I'm concerned. My opinion now, all this is my opinion, and you might differ from what I'm saying, but that's just my opinion. I've had Molson and I've had Labatt's and Moosehead. I don't even know if that's from Canada or not, but I'm just not into that macro lager, grainy, ricey, grassy type beer anymore. I've had enough. I've had it up to here with those type of beers. I want beers that have a lot more taste and flavor, and made with natural ingredients, and something you're going to want to have in your refrigerator. Other than that, now if you got a bunch of college kids coming over, yeah, go buy them a case of the macro swill and serve it to them till they're passed out on the couch, and that's the way that goes. And save this stuff for yourself. That's what I'm talking about. All right, guys. This is a 6.5 percenter. Doesn't have the IBUs listed here. I don't think it has it listed over here either. So I don't know what the IBUs on this beer is. But according to what it says here, it has some hoppiness to it. So we will see. No, it's not listed here at all. So let's go over to the food pairings. Food pairings for this beer. This is considered an American stout. Food pairing is cuisine is barbecue, cheeses, and buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss, earthy, Camembert, Fontina. And it is a stout, so it goes well with your chocolate dishes, of course. The meat is beef, shellfish, smoked meat, game, and grilled meat. And you could even have this after dinner as an aperitif. Glass first pint Becker, the Nonic tumbler mug, Stein Seidel. I like these kind of beers in this glass. This is the Double glass, the tulip glass, and enhances the aromas. And it says not recommended for extended cellaring, but unless it is a super hop forward beer, it will cellar well. I mean, at 6.5%, this should keep, I would say, at least 5 to 7 years. Unless it's hop forward, I don't know why I would not. On here, it's got a date on it, and sometimes the Canadians and the coding from overseas, they'll put the year before the month. So on this one it says the first code is 5 and the second one is 1. So you can look at that two different ways. You can look at this as May of 2011, or you can look at this as January 2015 Best Buy date. So one could be, and it doesn't say that. It doesn't say Best Buy or Bottled On. So you're taking your chances. Is this a Bottled On date or is this a Best Buy date? So we don't have that information. So it is what it is, isn't it, guys? We're taking a chance. But it's 6.5%. It's not going to go bad. Parrish, thanks again for sending this to me. I do appreciate it, brother. I can't wait to dig into it. And without me flapping my damn gums any further, let's get the cap off of it. And this may be a twisty. I think the last one was. It is. It's a twist off. And they're probably doing that to save money. I'd rather them save money there and put it inside than have a good bottle and have garbage inside. Let's get down to center with this one. Alright, put that out there where you can see it. Oh, that looks so good in the glass. Over into the light. There is none. It is pitch black. It is Motorola black. Looks very good in the glass. Let's get a nose on it. Oh wow, a lot of coffee. coffee, chocolate, or cocoa, if you will. Getting a hint of some dark fruit. And I am getting a slight hint of vanilla there. There are some vanilla beans in this beer. And I also had seen and read or somewhere that somebody was even getting some bourbon. I'm not getting any bourbon in the nose. Definitely getting the coffee and the chocolate and the roasted malt though. I can't believe how much coffee that I'm getting out because I don't see anything listed about any coffee on it. Stout brewed with real cocoa and vanilla beans. Wow. The vanilla isn't so subtle in there. I mean, but it's there. It's definitely there. Wow. I'm drooling. It's time to sip on it. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Parish. The vanilla is definitely in the taste, though. It is right up there with the cocoa. Very nice hop presence to match the maltiness and the sweetness that's going with this beer. This is delicious. You could have this for breakfast if it wasn't for 6.5%. Wow, that is awesome. Wow, I like this a whole lot. This is going to pair well with a nice cigar. I also had some guys say something about that. Yeah, cigar, and I don't like to, and that's the biggest reason y'all haven't seen me doing a cigar while I'm doing the beer. The cigar will corrupt your palate, but I do enjoy having a cigar. Then I'm going to probably take this back and let her sip on it a little bit. Then I'm going to sip on it a little bit. And then I'm going to fire up a cigar once I've determined what taste and stuff goes with it. And then I'll put the cigar down before I finish this beer and go back and come in here and do the final chug and give you the final aromas and stuff. But there is a lot of argument back and forth whether the cigar is influencing the taste of the beer or whatever, guys. But it is what it is, and I enjoy doing that. So I don't always have cigars with my beers, but once I get to these dark beers and stuff, I really do like to have a nice cigar with this. So to each his own. Whatever floats your boat, blows your hair back, and knocks your socks off, whatever it takes, guys. So we're going to let it warm up and let her taste it, and I'll be right back, and we'll do the final chug thing, guys. Alright, guys, I'm back. I got a little left here, maybe just a little bit more than a little bit. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick since I went on and on and on, flapping my gums in the first part of this video. Like I said, I get carried away sometimes talking about the other guys. So let's do the final chug on this one. Now that it's warmed up, the cocoa and the vanilla stand out a lot. It's not overly sweet. The roasted malt, coffee, cocoa. Wow. I could go on and on about this beer. There might be a hint of some dark fruit, maybe a little tobacco in there. Maybe some molasses. Oh, it's awesome. It's delicious. If you can get your hands on this beer, you definitely need to pick this beer up. It is definitely worth having. If you're a stout fan, you'll probably like this. Now, I don't know what the distribution is on their beers since they're out of Canada, but like I said, I have a limited variety of the beers that I get around here. And there is a beer store about 30 miles away that I don't get to very much anymore, but they have a bigger selection of this type of beers. So need to start going back up there and checking some of that out. But we had a falling out. Any of you guys that have followed me since I started this a while back, and I just don't go up there. I don't frequent it. They don't appreciate my business and what I'm doing, so I don't buy my beers there anymore. So don't go up there too much. I only go up there several times a year and pick up a few things. Something that I'm especially looking for that I know the stores around here don't carry anymore. But they didn't seem to be interested in helping me out, and I'm not interested in helping them out. So that's the way that goes. But this beer is definitely worth picking up if you can get your hands on it. I loved it, guys. As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna give this beer a 10. I think it's that good. It is awesome for a cocoa. What they have on the label, cocoa. Right here on the front it says cocoa and vanilla beans, real cocoa and vanilla beans. 6.5%, no alcohol presence to me whatsoever. Could not smell it, could not taste it. Went down very well. The other half loved it as well as I do too. So I'm gonna give it to 10, guys. So I don't know what the rest of the guys here say. So without me keep flapping my gums, let's go over to. Beer Advocate says 94, which is outstanding. I think that number is a little low, just my opinion, but it is an outstanding beer. So if you can get it, get it. Let's go over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer, imagine this. Rate Beer is right in line with what I'm thinking. They say 100 overall and 100 in the style. I could not agree more. That's why I gave it to 10. If I was putting a number on it, it would be 100. Guys, it's awesome. Parrish, thanks again, brother, for sending me this beer. This one was freaking delicious. It was awesome. I enjoyed it thoroughly, guys. So this has rambled on and on and on this beer review. I wouldn't be surprised if this one was 15 minutes or more, and I apologize for the guys that don't like those reviews that long, but it is what it is. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up with that. Hit that like button, rate, comment, subscribe. Pick this beer up. Let's see what's in the fridge tomorrow. See you then.